Hello everyone, and welcome to our next lecture on Subject-Verb Agreement and tenses. So let's begin. Subject-Verb Agreement, or SVA, is actually a very important English grammar rule whereby the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree. Well, the question that we want to ask is, what exactly is the subject of a sentence and what is a verb? Now, if you recall a previous lesson, I'm sure you can tell me what a verb is, right? So, tell me, what is a verb? Right, very good. They are words that tell us about the action or state. Okay, so example words are like work, sing, cook, and walk, and state verbs like is, are, seem, and feel. What then is the subject of a sentence? Well, the subject of a sentence is basically the person or the thing doing the action or relating to the action. So a person or a thing, basically or typically, the subject of a sentence are nouns or is a noun. So in these examples, okay, the words that are underlined are the subjects in the sentence because they are the persons or the things doing the action. Now, it's important to note also that subject-verb agreement is important especially for all present tenses, for example, simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and so on. Now, of course, when it comes to subject-verb agreement, we're going to have some rules, but the number one basic rule is that a singular subject will, of course, take a singular verb, and a plural subject will then take a plural verb. So, singular subjects like my mother, he, and the teacher take singular verbs like works, sings, and is, which coincidentally have the letter S. Plural subjects, on the other hand, like they, the boys, and those tables, take plural verbs like cook, walk, and are that have no S. However, words like I and you have exceptions to the rule where they take special verbs like am and are. But how do I actually remember this basic rule? Well, here's a tip for you. Memorize this. I, you, we, they, no S. But he, she, and it, you add S. Now, I've actually learned a song that could probably help you in case you cannot remember this. So it goes something like this. I, you, we, they, no S, no S. He, she, it, add S. He, she, it, add S. So simple, so simple. Simple, isn't it? So, subjects that go under the pronouns like I, you, we, and they do not use S in the verbs, but pronouns or other nouns that can go under the pronouns he, she, and it, you add an S. So, examples of these are like for I, you, we, they, words like work, sing, cook, walk, am or are, do, have, and seem, which have no S. For singular verbs like he, she, and it, singular subjects, then you have singular verbs, works, sings, cooks, walks, is, was, does, has, and seems, which all have S. There you go. Easy for you to remember. So let's test that, shall we? So with this simple tip now that can help you remember, pause the video here and try these questions before moving on to the next slide. Try these questions 1 to 8. So please pause the video right now and try out these questions. Have you finished? Are you ready to check your answers? Here we go. There, did you get them all right? If you did, that is awesome. Keep it up. But if you made some mistakes and you're not sure why you've got it wrong, maybe you can go back in the video and listen to the explanation again, and then maybe try the question one more time. Moving on, we have other rules, like uncountable nouns. Nouns that cannot be counted. Well, these kinds of nouns must be followed by singular verbs. Uncountable nouns like water, sky, sugar, and sand, you can't really count. So you take singular verbs like is, does, and has. Another rule is related to collective nouns. Now, collective nouns that refer to one group as a whole or a single unit, you count it as one. So then you take a singular verb. But if they refer to the individuals inside that group, they take a plural verb. So these are some examples. Crowd, choir, a litter of puppies. They're collective, but you count it as one. So they take singular verbs with S. Collective nouns like police, audience, and the army, where you're talking about all those people in that group, then you take plural verbs with no S. Words like each, every, one of, much must be followed by singular verbs, but all, several, a few, and many need plural verbs, as you can see in the example in the table. Now let me ask you this. What about subjects like everyone, everybody, everything, or someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, anything, something, and nothing? What kind of verbs do they take? Singular, plural? What do you think? Aha! Yes, all these take singular verbs. So, with or with no S? With S. Good. Now, when the sentence has either, neither, and sometimes none, these follow the closest subject, whether it is singular or plural. Now, this is interesting. If you look at the example sentences given in the slide, the words in bold are actually the subjects that are closest to the verb. And following that, okay, the nouns, the subjects like Hari, father, and Mrs. Jacob are singular nouns, singular subjects. Therefore, they take singular verbs with S. Whereas players and the boys are plural subjects, so they take plural verbs like have and are, no S. And finally, in sentences beginning with the words there or here, the subject, the real subject, actually comes after the verb. So in these examples, the words in bold, someone, kids, and the book are the true subjects in the sentence. And so the verbs is and are follow those subjects. Someone and the book is singular, so you take is. Kids, plural, so you take are. So yes, that's about it for now. So thank you. Before you leave, please complete the exercises given in task 2 so I know whether you've really understood this lecture or not. So try out these exercises and all the best. See you in the next class. Bye!